Hello, everybody. Let's join me for a quick cigar. I'm gonna get this guy going. I just had a thought leading up to it's Lent now, and leading up to Easter, Resurrection, right? Smoking Oliva today, Series V. A friend had turned me on to these recently. Been smoking more and more cigars lately. Well, and pipe tobacco. You've seen some of that in some of my videos, but you know, excuse me. Oh, it's good. I'm not like a cigar aficionado or a tobacco aficionado at all, but I am enjoying it more and more. Um, I was turned on to tobacco because of Easter, if you can believe that. I started going to Orthodox Church. Um, well, I guess this will be my third Easter, third Pascha. And something I noticed when they go on the Lenten time, we just finished our first week of Lent, and then leading up to Easter or to Pascha, and everybody's fasting something. Certain types of foods, electronics, phones, whatever it is, all kinds of things. And then that last Holy Week before Easter, the liturgies and the liturgical services, they're following kind of the captivity of Christ, and then leading up to his death, and then the resurrection. Of course, is they have a midnight service on Easter night, and then the resurrection Easter morning, right? Is just a huge celebration. Huge celebration. It's unlike anything you've ever seen. And for someone like myself, who's not a very celebratory person, I tend to be pretty serious and not able to let my brain go and just enjoy things and enjoy life. And so, for me, it was very helpful being around all these people that are pretty, I would say they're very irreverent Christians, but at the same time, very in love with the Lord and very in love with the church. It's beautiful. And so, it's good. It's really good. I I think that what's so interesting about the resurrection morning is that, like, for most churches, Protestant, and you come out of a Protestant background, and then you go over to Orthodoxy, which a lot of people are, you find that, like, in Protestantism, the Christmas is the big celebration, and that's the celebratory and the lights and the decorations and things. And Christmas, of course, should be celebrated. But for much of the world and for much of the church, because if I'm not mistaken, unless I'm reading facts that aren't facts, most of the Christian church is Orthodox. It's just we don't know that in the West because we're Western Protestant thinking Christians. But most of the world of Christians is Orthodox. And so for them, the resurrection, the Easter, the Pascha, is the big celebration, right? The resurrection of Christ comes with the resurrection of all things. And I was talking to some of the guys the other day about this, and they were talking about Paul in the argument in 1 Corinthians 15, where they talked about, look, Christians are to be most pitied then. If there's no resurrection, then Christ never died. You're still in your sins. There is no resurrection. If that's the case, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow you die anyway. And I was asking some of the guys about resurrection, Pascha, Easter celebration, and why do the Orthodox, they were drinking, they were breaking these fasts, right? And with meat and barbecue and snacks and desserts, everybody comes, everybody brings tons of food, and then that's where got onto cigars. It's because, like, why are you guys smoking? This is like Easter time? What is this? And we were talking about it, and they said, no, no, no. This is a celebration. And one of the guys mentioned that phrase from Paul. He says, eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow you die. And he says, look, this is what we're doing here. And if you go and read it, it's beautiful. And I say this as the chief of sinners. I am the horrible sinner that Christ came for. I know that. I know that about myself. And I'm not pretending anymore. Like, not that I was before, but I out myself. I am the chief of sinners, right? That's how I feel about myself. And he says, no, no, no. Easter is a celebration. It's a celebration. Eat, drink, and be merry, for you will never die. Oh, what a way to think about that. It's a huge celebration with feasts and tables and food for days, and the kids are playing, and there's games, and there's desserts, and there's alcohol and cigars for the big boys. This is a celebration. Life is to be celebrated for the believers. And that's why we break the fasts and the night services and things like this. We're celebrating the resurrection that's coming. The sunshine's coming up, and there's a night service, and then once the liturgy is over, the night service, the morning is coming. The sunshine's coming out, and everybody breaks the Lenten time with huge celebration and music and dancing and food and beer and cigars. It's wonderful. And so we eat, drink, and be merry, for we will never die. What a way to think about this. Isn't that great? What are your thoughts?